right off the top now.
And the goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Thanks for having us. This is a very cool show.
Yeah, so through many iterations, and we finally landed on the weirdest one by far.
Yeah, simple feelings, and boom, you got a sound.
I remember this one time. I had been writing some songs, and I went out. I'm just going right in on this story. I went out, and so I was.
The story's longer than the song itself. We'll go ahead and play it.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band. Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Day 8 of the Musikfest daily live streams from Godfrey Daniels. Today we have Fox Royale and ARKAI. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese. And this is your next favorite band, and a returning favorite here in front of us. I don't often use profanity on the show, but today is my pick for best day of the festival because of the full lineup that we'll touch on in a second that's available to us, and the guests on the show today. So, holy shitballs. I mean, I'm just living my best life. So, yeah, here we have Fox Royale.
How's it going?
Here we are.
Thanks for having us
Returning
back.
favorites joined us back in October.
Yeah.
I think we had Nathan on. Had an amazing interview.
That was fun.
Yeah.
My dad listens to every interview I've ever done, and that's his favorite one.
Wow!
So, by a lot. So he called me immediately and was like, that was great. They did their research.
There is something to that. So in the beginning, because I'm just kind of nobody, just who happened to like talk to musicians, and it's slowly evolved into what goes on now of what's called your next favorite band. So when I first started getting people to say yes, because again, like we talked about last year, I didn't even get a chance to meet you afterwards, but I wanted to somehow give it some legitimacy. So I handed our guitar pick business card, I guess you might call, to your merch person, and I was just like, please hand this over to them, and I'll be reaching out, and boom, here we are. Yep. But I'm still always amazed that anybody says yes, because it's like, who am I? Like, whatever. But, like, I love doing it so much that early on I was doing research, and every single time someone would be like, where did you find that?
Yeah.
And I just thought I was doing what you're supposed to do to prepare for interviews.
Yeah, it's like a lost art, I think, because people will get my name wrong, like my first name. Like, they'll get that wrong, they'll have the wrong band name.
Right.
So they're like, I don't even know if they were
Today on the show is Boys on the Bus.
Exactly. Yeah, like sometimes it's like, I don't even think you were planning on talking to me today. So, no, it was really nice and kind of surprising, honestly, some of the deep pulls you had.
And that's now become my favorite thing. It converted from what I thought was just like table stakes to do this, to now I'm like, I can't wait to find something
that's gonna shock
that's a
the band.
super nugget that they don't even know is out there. And there's been a bunch where I'm always just like, this is gonna be awesome. Actually, this will be a good transition to the list of the day, which let's just bring it up and then I'll tell the story because it's a great moment. The top pick for today is Wheatus. Teenage Dirtbag, but I actually have a whole playlist out there called More Than Just a Dirtbag.
Oh, okay.
Their full lineup of songs it's almost like you might think they're a one-hit wonder, but this was their words, not mine, you haven't gotten over our first hit. And if you just take a moment to listen to everything else they have, it's amazing. Like
there's one other, Lemonade, right?
Lemonade's a great song. That was still
one.
Early for them.
Yeah.
Their album Valentine is incredible. Like it's from beginning to end is all awesome. But very talented, very thoughtful musicians, songwriters, more than what you would assume.
Yeah.
And even if you
My
listen,
bad.
no, and that's the point. Is like there's that just makes all the reason why they made sense to bring on the show.
Yep.
Because in the opening, they hear us talk about it's either a young up-and-coming band or someone who's flown under the radar. Wheatus is neither of those, except for how good they are beyond their one song. True. And so that's where it made some sense. And so that's why moments like this are like where I get excited. I'm like, sweet, you might now listen to some Wheatus
I'm going to.
albums.
What was the album?
Valentine.
Okay.
I would highly recommend that one, beginning to end. It's super good.
Okay.
But so I'm prepping for that interview, and somewhere along the way, I find out that Brendan B. Brown, the lead singer, swore off underwear in 1989. Okay. Right. So in the towards the end of the interview, I'm like, okay, I have a few things to go over here as. Rattling off a few music-related quick nuggets. I'm like, so this happened, yep, and you've gone commando since 1989, and he lost it. Where did you find that? And it's just, I love those little moments now.
Is that still true? It's true?
He didn't say otherwise, I think he's still pro-commando.
Yeah, same page, me and him.
There was a few other, colorful words that went along with it, but we'll save those for afterwards. But anyway, so the rest of the lineup here. So Wheatus, Fox Royale, Mystik Fool, who we had on earlier this week. Galen Deary is the genius behind Mystik Fool, and they're playing a full band set today. 49 Burning Condors. Okay. Because the first 48 were already taken. Dirty Dollhouse, who I always say Chelsea Mitchell, the lead singer, is my favorite voice out there in music. Yeah. And then Knotz and Christine Elise. They are from Philly. He's a rapper. She plays the harp. Didn't see that one coming.
No.
And they are incredible. Like they play the beats, and then she'll start playing the harp in connection with the beats and sing, and he raps, and it just blows your mind.
That's awesome.
So here's what we typically do. So since we have two amazing guests, we're going to kind of split this in half here. We're going to bring on some Wheatus music, then we'll bring on some Fox Royale music, and then talk with you all, and then we'll have you all go off, because your set's early. It's at 5, so we got to get... And you guys drove all night. No sleep. Well, van sleep, which, we all know what that's like. But anyway, let's bring up a Wheatus song. Again, for the purpose of what I was saying before. This is off of Valentine, and it's their song called Break It, Don't Buy It, and it's my personal favorite.
Okay.
First, we're going to play Break It, Don't Buy It. Everybody do this just
Their
for 1
shows
second.
are like this. It's very crowd involved, so go down to me.
All right, Matthew, start playing that shit.
More than just a dirtbag?
Yes, you're right.
And you can also get a sense, again, like his vocals
they sound great.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
He
and
plays
his signature voice. Like I was like, oh yeah, that's
him.
The
yeah.
guy. Yeah. Like.
Matthew plays a 6-string bass. There's drums and keyboards. There's 2 backup singers. So that's not just some one-hit wonder from the 90s.
No, they're a band.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And a very cool interview. So there's Break It, Don't Buy It. It goes on from there, and it's awesome. And like I said, go definitely check out the rest of the catalog.
I'm going to listen to the whole album, yeah.
Yeah, definitely do. Or again, like you could even start with the playlist on Spotify under our channel, More Than Just a Dirtbag. And you can check out more Wheatus tracks that actually, in the interview, they curated. Because I just said, what would each one of you want somebody to listen to from the catalog? And so they just started firing out, I would do this, this, this. And so we built that playlist. They actually built the playlist. I just pieced it together. Nice. So that's the ones that they would say are like the seminal Wheatus tracks.
Okay.
So that's even probably a potentially better place to do it. And again, I'm taking no credit for it other than just being a scribe. But yeah, so there's Wheatus, and then let me just remind you when they're playing. So 9:30, America Platz, south side, the Steel Stack stage, could be packed because it's a beautiful night. There's no weather to worry about. and 9:30 Friday. You can tell it's the second Friday of Musikfest because there's all sorts of profanity on the show again that doesn't really. Please, fly, by all means, if it flies, don't worry about it. But normally it's just not that prevalent. But here we are. Welcome to Musikfest. But yeah, so 9:30 Platz stage, and now we'll start at the top of the list for the rest of the day. Fox Royale. Wow, perfect. So I picked a song that I hadn't heard before this. I'm Going Out. I really enjoyed this song.
Thank you.
Like I was very familiar with all the other stuff, especially prepping for the interview the first time around, and loving. What I also love the fact that not every song that's a huge like crowd pleaser for you all isn't even available out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of have to get out there and see a Fox Royale show.
Yeah, someday maybe those will be out, but you're right.
It's kind of fun though that there's like, hey,
little nuggets.
Yeah. So here is I'm Going Out.
You reject me, caress me, forgive me, forget me, and leave me, can't see me, attack me, then feed me. I love you and leave you and say I don't need you, enjoy you, avoid you, surprise you, annoy you. You're crying, I'm laughing, my family is passing, you're staying or going. There's no way of knowing I can't stay. I'm going off, I'm going out, I'm getting lost, I'm going off, I'm going out.
As always, the cinematic video game is very strong for you. You're always going to be entertained by the video for sure. And I again recommend people to go check out the entire catalog on YouTube because it's pretty amazing what you guys.
Thank you so much. I haven't seen this in a long time, and I was just like, it's funny to watch again, just because I remember like when that was like all I was thinking about. I was like, how do we make this make sense? Like,
this is a crazy night filming it too.
Yeah, we did that in like 3 hours, and I'd never met that guy.
His face disappeared.
Yeah.
I do always enjoy watching a musician watch their own
It's
stuff.
so weird. It's just like, I just don't watch it. It's so I remember the rest of the band being like, what the hell is this? Like, why are we doing this?
What's in the box? No, amazing song there. And I think, again, that reason why I picked that one was, and I don't know how I didn't catch it the first time around, but like, it was so representative of all the different styles of music you play, because it is, I mean, you have it listed out there as anthemic, jangly rock and roll.
Yeah.
Indie rock, whatever. But, you know, I think that's because what I always struggle with, what genre do you belong in? And how do you not let that be a limit to people who may want to check you out? Because once you say one genre, it's like, nah, it's not for me. We didn't even listen to music yet.
When people hear indie rock, they're like, yeah.
Right, that's what I mean. Or even like, all of them. You say folk or jazz, you're going to get either a very viscerally positive response or negative.
And then it's not folk enough or not jazz enough.
Correct, yeah. Then you really get into the rabbit hole.
The key is to use descriptors that don't really make any sense. Like, what does jangly mean?
Right, yeah. No, it's exactly, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, I was applauding your choice in words because
somebody else came up with that, and we were like, jangly, all right.
But that's the thing, is someone's going to have to be like, I don't know what that is. Let's go listen to it.
Yeah.
And that's a hook. Like, you got them pulled in. But it was all over the place there in a great way, from styles and genres and, you know, vocal patterns and stuff. Like, I just think it's very representative of what you guys do, and it's so brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Like, there was even parts in there I was like, that kind of reminded me of Hamilton on Broadway. Like, there's parts in there that were like, holy smokes, like just the great, melody and such.
Thank you so
it was
much.
Just really good.
That one basically was like just two separate songs. I had like the speed talking thing and didn't know where, I couldn't write anything else. And then I had this other one that was just like a really simple chorus. I was like, well, what if we just have a gap in the middle and then we just start a second song?
Yeah. It was almost like the overture that led to this song.
Yeah.
But they belong together.
Yeah.
The intro or whatever. But yeah, love that. Love the videos and the live show. I mean, that's really what really pulled it in last year. Obviously, that's what is the pipeline of content for our show through Musikfest. 450 bands across 10 days.
Wow. Yeah.
15 free stages and so on. So like it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. I normally get texts from people when it starts. They're like, "Hey, Merry Christmas!" Like to me. Awesome. So I just love it. And then when days like this come around, where it's like 6 stellar bands that I already know, and can't wait to see, because I haven't maybe seen every one of them live yet. Mm-hmm. And then the ones that I have seen live, but only that one time. It's oh, this is so great. So I've been looking forward to this day. When the lineup came out, I was like, that second Friday, set aside everything.
Awesome. That's so cool.
And then it's basically going to start with you. So we're going to wrap here probably around 4 o'clock. We're going to have you guys play some music and then get you off so you can do load in and sound check and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to start with you. I'll be closing up shop here, going across the bridge, grabbing a beer and something to eat, and sitting down and listening to Fox Royale, which will just light a fuse on the rest of my evening.
Hell yes.
Which will culminate, like we talked about at the beginning, with Wheatus. So that's beautiful.
Yes.
Before we have you play something, what can we help promote? Like, what do you have coming up in the fall? You're kind of coming towards the end of a very long tour, right?
Yeah, we've got 2-3 weeks left, and we've been out for 2.5 months.
Yeah, so. I was going to say, I thought I remembered it starting like May.
Yeah, I'm excited to go home.
I'm sure.
And then we might go back on tour like 3 days after we get home. So just like you were talking about, like you can't believe people's like say yes when you started the podcast. I think like every show we play, people are like, really? Like, because some shows are like, we shouldn't have said yes. Obviously, Musikfest is not one of those. But like, sometimes we get there, we're like, oh, this is a house. Like, there's nobody's coming. And
right.
So I feel like we're kind of just like, we don't know how to say no still. And it's working because we get to go everywhere and meet a lot of cool people. And so we're about to say yes to some crazy stuff probably as soon as we get home.
Sure.
And so I think the big thing to promote though would be we finally got approval, and I was supposed to send a bunch of information out today in an email, and instead
we're gonna take care of it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it right now. No, so we're putting out an EP. Our first like non-single release is coming out October 13th.
Very cool.
That'll be 5 songs. I heard we're pressing it to vinyl. So
awesome.
Which I hadn't even told them that. I heard that last night. So.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
That's
do
been
vinyl
happening all week. I
finally.
learned someone's like, oh wait, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yeah, I think this is fine. But yeah, we're putting out 5 new songs, and then we're still playing shows. So if you're listening to this and you're in the Pacific Northwest, we got to sell some tickets in Seattle. So
there you go.
August 31st.
Oddly, we can see the downloads where they're done, and it is kind of countrywide, which we always kind of just like can't believe that happens. But we have literally every episode's been downloaded in one city in Germany. So
really?
We have some subscriber in Germany who I don't know. I mean,
do you know what town?
I could figure it out.
My dad was based there last year for the Navy. So
it could be that.
I wonder if it was my dad and then maybe some
that.
of his buddies on the military base.
That could be.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. If we could connect the dots on that, that would be so cool.
I know exactly.
Because every time I just always do it, it's like, downloads like 75% of them within this region, then a little bit New York, a little bit Philly, a little bit whatever, and then it's like Germany.
Yep.
One download every episode. One. And I'm like, this is amazing.
That's so cool.
And we always we're shouting out. We're like, hey, reach out. But anyway, enough about that. Let's introduce the rest of the band.
Yep.
Hi, my name's Caleb. I play bass.
Nice.
And keys. Hey, who
Hey.
are you?
Hey, I'm Chase. I play drums.
Hi, I'm Mario. I play guitar.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. And 3 of the 4 of you were here for Musikfest last year, and we do have one rookie.
Yep.
Musikfest rookie.
Yeah. Tour rookie. This is first tour as well.
Wow.
We're how's 3 months sound?
Yeah. How's it been going?
It's good.
Yeah. I'm sure this wasn't the right time to ask after you drove all night to get here.
Yeah, perfect timing.
And then get out of the car and join some, concocted podcast in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But thank you guys so much for coming on. Think the world of your music. Hope it works out with the EP coming out and anything we can do to help help promote that.
Absolutely.
Definitely let us know.
We should do an episode if you're available.
Absolutely.
Cool.
No, that would be awesome. And then I will jump off here to let you guys have center stage. I'll even move the camera a little bit so we can get you guys centered. And then you can intro the song and whatever else you want to talk about, and then we'll enjoy your songwriting.
Awesome. Cool.
Well, you can stay right there.
Oh, cool.
Sick. The whole time.
Unless you need.
No, we're good. Just remember the mic's right there, so we don't have to be loud.
Want that?
I do. Sorry. All right. So I'll talk to the camera. This song is called Panic Attacks, and it's about when I dropped out of college to join a band right as my parents were getting a divorce, and I lost my scholarship because they both worked at that school, And I was like, I want to be in a band. And I just started living in a van and touring, and was kind of questioning whether that was a good idea at some of those weird shows I was talking about. This is Panic Attacks. Original minds just wasting my time. New people, same type. The jokes don't sit right. Is it gonna pay off? If we all had enough, we keep looking back at the cliff as we jump. We hope the water feels amazing, but we might just fall, lose our bodies and then some. And the panic attack comes from way down low. I can't quit now, I guess I'm out of control. The panic attack's just riding into the show. There's a fire underfoot and it's burning my soul. See your ex-wife, love the fake nice, same story, new side, the hate don't feel right if you're both giving up or needed a break. Maybe get together just to cry and to pray, cause you were happier once, and then came the rain, washed away what you were feeling, started tossing the blame. And the panic attack comes from way down low. I can't quit now, I guess I'm out of control. Panic attacks just riding into the show. There's a fire underfoot and it's burning my soul. Girlfriends, I didn't need them. I pray I find help, cause I know that I need some. And I'm hoping that my situation soon will improve. Would it all be different if I never had moved? I wanna come talk, but I don't understand. I wanna be a better person, not sure if I am. Wanna find me a woman, not sure if I can. Are my bad habits keeping me from being a man? And the panic attack comes from way down low. I can't quit now, I guess I'm out of control. The panic attack's just riding into the show. There's a fire underfoot and it's burning my soul. Thank you.
And that is one of those tracks that isn't out there right now, right?
Yeah, maybe never.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, is it's one of those ones where like crowds love it, and then you got to come to a show to see it.
Yeah, I think that we might just keep it that way forever.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah,
Is
or
we
maybe
shut off
something.
all the lights. And,
yeah, right. Just something for the hot foxhole. That.
Yes.
Yeah.
The group.
Yeah.
I've had some questions about that name. We might need to change it.
Yeah, you may want to workshop that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that your music is incredible and people should check it out. And if you are joining the festival, let's just remember one last time here, it was Zins and Platz at 5 p.m. So start getting your mugs ready, head down to the festival, and catch Fox Royale on North Side.
Thank you.
Zins and Platz, 5 p.m. And then lots of other options out there, YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that finally some more songs coming in October.
Yes. So I can't wait to get down there and see you guys tonight.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks
Cool.
for having us.
Yeah, I'll see you. So we're going to swap out now the jangly indie rock of Fox Royale exits. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we are now going to bring on the mind-blowing genius and brilliance of ARKAI.
Hey there, what's your name?
Philip.
Oh,
Isn't
go
that
figure,
so
my
weird?
name's Philip too.
It's happening.
Hi. See, whenever I meet another Philip, I always have to ask one or two L's.
I'm 2 L's.
Okay, good. So you'll be two L Philip, I'll be 1 L Philip.
And then no one will get confused.
No one.
Because we look practically identical.
Pretty much. And you're with the band.
This was gifted to me because they're like, this is what you think anyway, so go ahead and take this.
But see, if they had a shirt that said, I'm with 450 bands.
They should do that. They should have
Musikfest.
That would be a good
Hashtag.
Musikfest.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be very, very good. But thanks so much, guys.
See you guys.
I'll see you in a little bit. So honored to have you guys on. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
Our
us.
absolute pleasure.
Oh, I can't believe how lucky I am to be able to have the moment to talk to you all, hear more about the backstory, the origin story of your training and your storytelling, and then bringing it all together and putting it with the ARKAI label. But what we're gonna do here. So here's what's funny. So you can see here, you've played twice today. and you didn't make this list, but it's because, I mean, a little spoiler alert, you're the fave of the day tomorrow. So you're at the top of the list for tomorrow.
All right.
So,
That's cool. Amazing.
Spoiler alert for tomorrow, ARKAI. But good news for everyone else listening, you're playing twice tonight? Or once?
One official show.
Oh, okay.
And then we're guesting, actually. This was just out of the blue. We're guesting, again, on main stage at around 9 o'clock, just for a song or two.
How fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's so great.
And that's the beautiful thing about Musikfest,
Yeah.
right? When you have so many artists coming together, and then we start to find each other, and then beautiful collaborations can happen.
This artist literally reached out to us on Instagram. It's just like, you guys are fired. Do you want to like sit on a couple of tunes? We're like, sure, absolutely. What else are we gonna do? Yeah, that sounds great. You know,
That's amazing. More breaking news. I love it. So let me just wrap the rest of the list. If you want to throw these headphones on, you can listen in and even comment and tell me what you think. So we already listened to Wheatus and we listened to Fox Royale. So we're going to bring on Mystik Fool, the 49 Burning Condors, which was definitely in the running for greatest name of the festival.
love that name.
And I was wondering, like, was 50 just a bridge too far? You can only burn 49, and after that, it's just gauche.
50 was too regular, I think.
Exactly. And then Dirty Dollhouse and Knotz and Christina Elise. I think you're going to really like these. Based on, again, how you bend genre, these are a lot of genre benders.
Fantastic.
So I think you're going to really like these. So let's bring in Mystik Fool. Like I was saying before, local person, Galen Deary. He's actually moving to the West Coast to continue to pursue, and you'll almost got to get that feel here. Again, you heard me talk about it before, like genre stinks. Like I don't know what genre to put these in. They're just in the excellent genre. So let's go with that. Here's Mystik Fool and their song "Gone with the Wind."
Show me the way to the promised land. And can you take me there?
So at this point, you might think, I don't know, new age rock, but then
Are we're in for a surprise?
Yeah, a little bit.
Come breathe in the air. I'm gone with the wind. I'm never coming back again. Watch me fly away. I'm gone with the wind. I'm never coming back again. Watch me fly away.
So again, I just think it's such a very cool vibe. And you can see what I mean by he's like, I'm gone with the wind, I'm flying to it. But he's produced a lot of this great music in this same kind of vein for a very long time, and I just love it.
That is a vibe.
Awesome.
That is a great vibe.
And they're on Plaza Tropical at 5:30, so you'll start to see this build here of where I have Fox Royale, then Mystik Fool, then the next one here is 49 Burning Condors. Such an excellent. I think he's got such great energy going on there. But like I said, 5:30 Plaza Tropical. When he was on the show, he was kind of saying, he's like, since I'm moving to the West Coast, this may be one of the last full band Mystik Fool shows you could see.
Really?
Just because he doesn't know what that's going to turn into as he moves to the West Coast.
Gotcha.
So, no pressure, but get down there to see the
Go
show.
see him. While you can.
Yeah, and here's 49 Burning Condors.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right? And their song, Noonday. They kind of have like a witchy vibe going with that. Wait to see this amazing video, too.
Oh my gosh.
The devil slipped into my dreams.
So these condors will be on the Main Street stage at 6:30 today.
These are some very vibey contours. This whoever video design director.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Look at this. Blood in my mouth, blood in my mouth, blood in my mouth.
Yeah, I would love to see that live show.
Right?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. How do you translate that sort of? Right. That is. So, it's just oozing.
Right.
In this style.
Yeah. And what's funny is when I reached out to you all to have you on the show, and you said yes, and I hit the floor, and after I picked myself back up, and you were picking the Friday, I was like, holy smokes! Like all of these bands fit this same kind of this genre bending, how do you reproduce that live kind of sound? So I was like, I can't wait to share all this music with the two of you.
Yeah,
because I was just absolutely. Like, that's what I figured. I was like, what better do you guys have to do than to just sit with me and listen to music?
Yeah. It's a good afternoon. That's all.
But here's Dirty Dollhouse. So I think you heard me say this before. Chelsea Mitchell, the lead singer of Dirty Dollhouse, has what I think is the best singing voice ever. Like
that's high praise.
Yeah. And let me just put it on. You guys can make up your own mind. But this is her song called "Honey, They're On to Us."
I left you in a letter, nothing more. I thought you'd wanna know if anyone says anything different. I'm never coming home. I didn't lose my faith, I let it go. I didn't use you, babe, I just can't stay no more. I shift from the beginning a minute when I took you up in arms.
So this is like the sweetest, nicest breakup song in the history. Because you don't even know that that's what it's about.
Yeah, no.
It's just about everyone else figuring out that you're not in love with each other anymore. And I didn't even know that until I talked with her. She was just like, it's a breakup song, right? Because we hired her to sing at our wedding.
Wow.
And
Everybody's just like so taken with the voice that they're not really.
at least that was my excuse.
So I hope that you didn't accidentally ask her to sing this song at your wedding.
Well,
not
so
knowing
I did.
Oh no!
She has
that's
a wonderful love song called Hollywood Love Song, and she sang that one like in the middle of our ceremony, I guess you might say, which was all of 15 minutes long. This was just back this past January.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you so much. Thank you. But then I was like, hey, after the ceremony's done, and while there's people who are just mingling, can you just play a couple other songs? And I wrote them all down, and she goes. I'll never forget this. No, because she's got tons of songs that are all about like just heartbreak and all this other stuff and real life stuff, but not. So she goes, sonically, I understand why you want these songs, but lyrically, not great for a wedding. And my wife and I were both like, doesn't matter, we just want to hear you sing on our wedding day. So like, all of her best songs are not exactly wedding material, but we were just like, whatever, just sing.
But you're right, her voice is like honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
When I listen to it, it's like Joni Mitchell and Roy Orbison, like, combined.
Yeah. No, it's like iconic.
Yeah, here, let's bring this up. There's Dirty Dollhouse. Everybody knows they're one of my absolute favorites. That's Honey, They're On to Us.
Nice.
Tons of other amazing songs. They will be on the Zinzenplatz stage at 7. So that stage gets Fox Royale followed by Dirty Dollhouse.
That sounds like a good place to be.
Zinzenplatz is good. And then since there's obviously change-out time, you'll still be able to kind of run around and see some of those other ones that I mentioned, like Mystik Fool. Lastly, and this is going to be a great one, you should go almost match up with Knotz and Christina Elise. Wait till you check this one out. So they have a song...
Oh, is this the
This is
rapper
the rap
harpist?
harp-
Oh,
the rap
I
harpist.
saw them on one of your other live streams, and they are dope.
Yeah, so...
into this.
Yeah, this was Philadelphia. And there's nothing, again, it's like kind of some of the other ones, you just got to hit play and let people kind of experience it.
Welcome to Philadelphia. It's the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. It's the birthplace of independence, y'all. And though I'm a vegan, it's the home of delicious cheesesteaks. Nice. Welcome to the 215th, the land of crazy skaters, graph writers and spliffs. Small streets, big dreams, starving artists. The place where the elders spread their words to the youth. The land of Fresh Prince in the Roots, the Liberty Bell, City Hall and Love Park, South Street in the summer, some parade with mamas, West Philly rosters, South Philly hustlers, North Philly drug spots, anything under the sun you want they got, believe me they got, it's the place of the underdog, sloshed alone, remember Mo Cheeks, Dr. J, Mo Malone, see Philly had the dome, boy, you out of your zone, Northern Liberties, that house, all the hipsters, Center City white collar, old city pop collars. Yeah, it's Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, shine on me. Filled with love and
diversity.
The mother face fell through the streets as a historic traces on our face. Philadelphia, shine on me.
This is the stuff where it's just like, it's kind of like what I said about your music. It's like, I just find myself grinning ear to ear, don't know what I'm listening to, but I just want it to never stop.
Also crazy style. And you know, it's like in animation, they always talk about the silhouette of characters. This group has a great silhouette.
Yes.
You won't forget them, that's for sure.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the Knotz, Christine, Elise, and this is where the Musikfest gods are sometimes aren't kind. Dirty Dollhouse and Knotz are on the exact same time.
No.
Yeah, both
Close.
7 to 8:30.
Nearby?
Nearby that I already warned Chelsea. I was like, I'm gonna stay for like the first 40-ish minutes, and then I gotta go see Knotz because I've never seen them play. So she was like, I totally get it. Musikfest is just that way, but the beauty of it is she's from Newtown, which is a suburb of Philly. Cuff and Christine are from Philly, so there's future shows that would be easily accessible, or at least my fingers are crossed for that. So let's transition to ARKAI.
Who are they?
Geniuses. And I'm going to play your song, Patchwork, which is another one of those ones where I'm like, please keep doing that. And then you hear the next song, you're like, wait, that one's even better. But just to give people a flavor for ARKAI here, and then you guys have said you could perform today, which, is that still true?
We actually were planning on playing Patchwork, not to throw the trains off the track, but...
I will not hit play. Let's get a live version of it.
Want to get a live version?
That would be amazing.
Right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do that, and then we can chat about.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the history.
All right. I'm gonna need a tiny bit more room.
Yes, I will definitely get that.
Amazing.
I'm gonna definitely get out of the space here. Everyone hold. We're gonna get a live version of Patrick. Alrighty. That should be good.
That is a catchy hook.
Isn't it?
Oh gosh. Knotz and Christine Elise.
Yeah.
That's great.
And do you need more room? I can get you more room.
I'll be okay. Stand up here, yeah.
And then I'll check that.
Does that work?
Let's get this guy equidistant. Like that. Bam! Does that work? Does that work?
Awesome. All right, I can't wait for this.
All right.
I'm so. Ladies and gentlemen, ARKAI.
This is Patchwork, acoustic version.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm so honored. That is amazing. Huh. Thank you.
All right. Absolutely.
Thank you. Wow.
That's why we're here. Share some music.
I know, seriously. Whoa, like just mind-blowing stuff. So now let's get to the story. So we know Juilliard trained, and everything that comes with. So tell us more about that. Like that's got to be just simply a challenge, or do we even want to roll it back a little bit more? Like how do you find music and these instruments and Juilliard? Let's even talk about that. Like you tell me.
How much time do we have, Philip?
Well, we could always talk about.
Or do you want to? Is the question like how did you fall off the wagon, so to speak?
Yeah.
Like, how did you get off of the traditional classical path?
Yeah, I mean, like, right, there's pressure there.
Yeah.
And in fact, I even remember hearing about it where it was just like, you played the Vespers last year.
Yeah.
And people were like, okay, I'm nervous about this because they might pull out the electric stuff. And then, like, you know, that's like but it's obviously, you know, it's an unfair thing to do to music, to limit it in any way. And then you'd still pull out the electric stuff and it kills, like, that people loved it. But it's just funny that there's these, like, barriers or walls that are just holding things back. But anyway, applaud you all for continuing to kind of bring that to people.
Well, I think that's a really interesting point when you bring up that we straddle all these lines, right? And we have our one foot firmly planted in the classical music world, which is where our training is from, where our roots are.
Right.
And we owe so much to that world, and we love so much of that. We have one foot there, but we also have a foot that is definitely outside of that.
Totally.
And so sometimes, right, for, like you were saying, sometimes we will play for more traditional classical music audiences and all the demographics that we typically think of with that. And you're right that sometimes, right, we'll start with the acoustic instruments, which is familiar.
Sure.
And they're like, okay, well, they're playing, you know, a little bit of edgy stuff, kind of like patchwork, but it's like something we know.
Right.
But then the electrics, you know, electric instruments and speakers and amplification.
Or beat and
Beats,
looping and stuff.
And
there's no place for that here.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a delightful, I'm not even sure if challenge is the right word, but it's a delight to be able to see those audiences, and we kind of almost have a twinkle in our eye as you know, people will have all their presuppositions about what that might entail, and then get to show them that it can be so much more.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that excites us most is really shattering preconceptions.
Sure.
And so when people think about a violin and a cello, a certain image comes to mind, a certain sound comes to mind.
Absolutely.
Right? Might think of something very beautiful or calming, you know, in the concert hall.
Yep.
And there's just so much that you can do.
Yeah.
With
Well, yeah, you're trying to get
instruments,
into a percussive instrument, then you're turning into a plucking thing, and it's like that's blowing these people's minds. They're like,
right. And
you're not supposed to do that.
And then you add technology, and you add all the amazing other kinds of music out there, all the things that we love, and combine those all together, and I think that's our sound, really.
Sure.
That's what ARKAI is.
And I think many of these people are forgetting that those greats that they're holding in such high regard were thought of that way in their day. Like they were breaking barriers on songwriting and preconceived rules of whatever. And it was almost like the equivalent of where rock and roll ends up. But like for classical music, it's like, you know, those people were thought of as, you know,
paving their own genres, essentially.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's like, you know, let's not forget the fact that, you know, the truly great moments are when you're not held back by any of that stuff, or breaking new ground, just not even necessarily held back, but thinking of something in a whole new creative way. So anyway, yeah, that is. I'm sorry that you would have to face any of that kind of, you know, resistance to your brilliance. But
there always is that with tradition, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's about like embracing it, and then. But not letting that like constrain your voice in any way.
Yep.
And finding ways to connect with those people, because they're still people at the end of the day that love music, right? Yeah. And so sometimes you just got to like tickle them a little bit, and then they open up and loosen up a little. Yeah, you know.
And so we had the pleasure at one point to interview Daniel Levitin, who wrote the book "This Is Your Brain on Music."
Oh yes, I have that book.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. And so one of the things that he had talked about was. You'll be willing to listen to new music if you trust. Like it has a lot of trust that has to be where you're sitting in. And so what we're kind of talking about here is you have to win these people over that they can trust you that you're still a steward for whatever they hold near and dear, but I'm
Absolutely.
still going to move you into some areas that maybe you wouldn't have thought otherwise comfortable.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's very cool.
Trust, we call them handholds. Yeah, we got to like hold their hand first and maybe bring them in through a vehicle that they know or a familiar sound, and then
Right.
shatter that.
Yeah, that happened to me the first time I ever heard you play. I was walking down the street and heard the sound, and it was like back before I did a lot of research and a lot of prep. That it was more just hey, I'll just walk around it, and then it was definitely one of those like, what?
What is that?
What is going on?
Wow.
What?
Yeah. So and from that moment, every time that you've had like I use the app, I trigger the thing, and then now that I had a show, I was like, I'm gonna see if they want to come on. Here we are.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
So do you guys meet at Juilliard? Is that where you meet?
It's a little slightly more complicated story. So
here's one thought: knowing that you don't have a ton of time because you have a 6 o'clock set.
6 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Platz.
So if you're interested, we could always do a full episode where we can really get into the full story. Because a lot of times we'll spend 45 minutes on an artist's story. If you're interested, not to put you on the spot, you can say no to me after we go off the air.
Absolutely, Philip. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. You might ask us, what do you have coming up? Seeing that you want to plug, and
that's what we'll definitely do.
That's what we'll do, and then we'll come back on to plug it.
There you go.
Further, yeah.
Before we get to the promotion stuff, the one question I wanted to make sure that we touch on today for people to listen to is you were asked by the Chinese government to write music to help with racism and.
Oh, that's for the Museum of Chinese in America in New York City.
Yeah.
So that was a couple of years ago. Coming out of the pandemic, one of the first major exhibitions that they had was called
Responses.
Thank you, Responses.
Yeah.
Asian
because there
Americans
was
resisting
this
the
ridiculous Asian hate around, like all of the stupid labeling around it and hate mongering and whatnot. So that was a very. I think very good thing that they did to try and reach out to create this. Again, music seems to be the type of place where you create a lot of common ground and people can, stop being fools. But I just wanted to make sure that we touched on that because I thought it was a cool thing. And so the museum reached out to you, and was it just music or was it set to images or?
They commissioned us just to write a piece for their exhibition, and so they would actually have it on repeat in the galleries as people were walking in. It was alongside a lot of other incredible artworks that were part of this exhibition. And it really is like kind of a testament to the power of music to bring people together, to tell stories, to pave common ground, and so that's what we did. And so we really told the story from our point of view, and we had a lot of friends that were experiencing hate during that time. We were living in New York City, which is a wild place.
Scary things going on.
Of course.
It's a beautiful place too, but so I think we're just really honored to be able to use our voice for that cause.
And like you said before, it's like the arts build trust.
Yes.
So, in either explicit ways, like with art kind of created for a purpose like that, but then even in some of the more subtle ways, like here at Musikfest, right? We build connections, we build trust with people whom music is the common ground, right? It reminds us of our common humanity. So in both small ways and seemingly large ways, the arts are so important.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. But what can we promote? So we've got, 3 shows? Well, you said there's a secret one tonight, but there's today at 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
That's the big one, actually, at
Platz.
At 6 o'clock. We're psyched about that one.
And then tomorrow,
we're playing at Platz, the little unplugged acoustic set.
Fun.
1 p.m., I believe.
Right.
1 to 1:30. And then we're at Main Street, 4:30 to 6.
Got it. And that's the one that will be the fave of the day pick for us tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good time. I mean, on Saturday afternoon, it's our last show, so we're going to be giving it our all before we head back.
The big set closer.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
The only thing I'll say is wear sunscreen because that one may be in the sun that time of day.
Yeah. It's going to be a
little roaster.
Yeah. Hot as balls plots, it might be called. But any what else can we promote? Anything coming up in fall? Any other music coming out? What do you got?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're
I can bring up your site. Would that help?
Sure, why not?
Sure. I'll do that here in a sec. You guys can.
So we're super psyched because we have our debut album coming out later this year, which is produced by an incredible Grammy-winning producer named Jonas W. Carlson.
Oh, we got to remember the W, because not the other
W.
Jonas
Carlson. He's Finnish. He's worked with the likes of John Legend, and so I think this album is really gonna be a statement, especially within the contemporary classical community, which we come from. So we're really psyched about that.
Yeah, some of the tunes that are going to be on the album, we will be playing here at Musikfest, but for the album, they've been produced and taken to a whole nother level. And so sonically, it's going to be a feast for the ears. So super excited about that. That's going to be streaming everywhere. Going to be on vinyl. You're going to have some physical CDs, of course.
Right.
The whole 9 yards.
That's so cool. And there is one other show here. In addition to Musikfest, you have Bryant Park.
Oh yeah, we've got a pop-up at Bryant Park. That's next week. And then we've got a couple other dates that just haven't made it up on the website
Got it. Well, they can always follow you on social media. And,
absolutely.
It's a good follow, too. Like, you guys must have had traffic coming this way yesterday, and you had to abandon your burgers and
you saw that.
Did you see that? Oh yeah.
Drove 5 hours from Lake George, New York, where we had a show the night before, and then we did three sets last night. And
it's right outside the steel stacks,
right.
And Gabriel Iglesias was there, and so he finished his show, and we were there it was 10 something.
It was
it's time for us to get a burger. And as we were getting our burgers, everybody walked out and we were like, well, it's time to run back.
You're on. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So it was
great. We got a great late night crowd. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's what the guys from Fox Royale said. We played in Cleveland last night, finished at midnight or 1, and just drove all night to come here.
Oh my god!
And then I was like, the first thing you want to do is jump on some stupid podcast.
I hope they get a little
and I'm sure the other guys were like, we could be napping right now. But anyway, Jonathan, Philip, thank you so much for coming on the show, for honoring us with your talent and your music and playing live here, and also sharing your story. And can't wait to dig in a little bit further. That was gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, we'll do it again sometime.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Godfrey Daniels for letting us set up all week here. We'd like to thank everyone from Fox Royale for stopping by, even though they are dog-tired and at the end of their tour, but they seem sprightly and will definitely put on a great set. Go check them out at 5 o'clock. And thank you to ARKAI for coming on and performing as well. This is going to be one heck of a day. I just can't wait. First of all, I was just so geeked up for this part here, and so excited to have met all these great musicians. And then now we're going to have just 5 to 6 amazing bands. Hope I can get to as much of them. I need to split myself in about 2 or 3 bodies. But I'll make the most of it. I hope I see you down at the festival. And there's a chance I might actually be introducing Wheatus tonight. So that would be very cool. Anyway, tomorrow we will have Rachel Anna Jobkin. And also we're going to replay the interview we did with Igor from the Red Elvis Sisters. They're playing tomorrow night as well. And it should be a great one as always. And I'm going to have a guest co-host in Mike Egan, a fan of the show. We're going to have him on to kind of just see what he thinks of the picks, and then we're going to fest together. So I'll see you down on the festival grounds.